Well, hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to my stream, and welcome to another chapter working on that guy there. That is our M1A1 Abrams by Tamiya 1/35th scale tank. We'll roll that intro, we'll get started. Still working on the turret, still working on this guy. I did glue in a couple of the things that we assembled last time, such as our smoke, what do they call them? Smoke launchers. I did put on the rear stowage tray, whatever you want to call that thing. Painted up the sides here, got those nice and orange. Put the is that the commander's lid? What do they call that? Let's go back here. Commander's hatch. Yep, commander's hatch is on there. Smoke dischargers. Smoke dischargers. That's what these are. Smoke dischargers. And I got these little containers put on the side there too. And this little periscope thing. And yeah, that's basically it. And got this guy painted up. He's now orange instead of white. And I did put in his window. I put his window in there, and then I cut a couple of pieces of masking tape to mask over that, because, well, there is going to be another color of orange, another shade of orange put on this thing, and I want the windows masked off. And of course, it's a lot easier to mask when it's sitting like this than when it's on here, okay? Because it's going to go on like that, and that's actually going to be the first thing I glue on today. Is we're going to glue that on, okay? Anyway, change the camera. Let's continue with this, okay? So, as I said, we're going to put this on first. It's going to go right there, okay? But the first thing I need to do is change my glasses so that I can see without having to lift them off my head all the time. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue just around here a little bit, in particular right in there and there. I don't want glue squeezing out the edges, so let's be careful on how we line this up. There we go. And he's in his new home, okay? And it shouldn't be, in theory, it shouldn't be too hard to get the masking tape out of there with tweezers once we're all done, and we can just reach in there and pull, and there you go. Okay, so that's that. The other thing we have to do, as far as assembling all this, we have our loader's hatch, which I have already put B67 onto it so that I could get it painted and get my color uniform across the top of this thing here. Not too concerned about the bottom side, or this side. I do need to paint, I want to paint this inside here. I want to get that black. So I'll just get some flat black here real quick. And I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use my screwdriver. Just kind of dip it in. Smear it around in there a little bit. Why am I doing it this way? Because it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, the accuracy of the paint job on the inside of this doesn't matter. I just want it I just don't want it bright orange in there. That's basically it. Okay, so there we go. It's black. That's good enough. And because I just used this, I can just go wipe. Done. I don't have to clean a brush. Okay. This guy is going to be open, so why I don't care. He's open and he's going to sit right in here, just like that. So why black? Why'd I do that? I just wanted it so that if you do happen to look, you can see that that's black in there and it's not super bright orange, and that's why I did it like that. Okay. But this is how he's going to sit. That's his open hatch. So I'm just going to use a little extra thin on there. Actually, what I'm going to do, first of all, the corner here is going to be touching, so I'm going to put a little dab of glue on there. Like that. And then put this down into a spot like that. Okay, so now the glue is going to help hold that in more than just our hinge. Okay. There we go. So that's that. There's our loader's hatch. Okay. So we've got our turret. I've already got this all painted up nice and done. Okay. And so this can now go and be installed on here. Like so. Just like that. Okay, so we'll put some glue on that shaft and we'll get our main gun installed on there. Generous with the glue on that because I want her to be a good solid fit. Because it does feel like it's got a little bit of looseness to it. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on here. Just to make sure. I want it nice and solid. Okay, so we'll give that a minute to dry before I play around with it too much. In the meantime, they're talking about A4, that's one of the cables. I'm going to put the cable on later. Okay, so we're going to go D19, a little railing that goes along here on the side. D19, let's grab my D. D19, which is this one here. Where's my nippers? Realized yesterday when I was doing some of the touch-up painting that I'm almost completely out of the orange paint. Almost completely out, so I'm gonna have to go to the hobby store and buy some more. I've got enough for a little bit of touching up with a brush, a little bit of brush painting I can do with it, but I don't really have any, I don't have much left to do any spraying if I need to do any more, which I'm pretty sure I am going to have to do more. Okay, we're going to put this one, this is number 13, we're going to put this off on the side for now because that's for the other side. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty sure my nubs need to be cleaned up on this, otherwise they're not going to look good. These need to be smoothened out ever so carefully. This is a little bit of a delicate job on these because you do need to, you don't want to bend them, you don't want to wreck them. Okay, it looks pretty good. And I clearly could not get this side of it. You can tell by the different shade. There's nowhere near the right shade of orange on that. Because when it's on the sprue, some of the edges are really hard to get at, right? Like you can just tell this hole on each side, which means this needs to be painted still. Okay, so it looks like The hole is for this pin right here, and that's going to be my guide to where this actually gets lined up. So there's its in. So with that in like that, these are supposed to line up into their little slots like that and go in there. There's little notches on the sides, and then this is supposed to go against it, right against the edge there. So what I'm going to do is get my extra thin. Actually, what I need to do, my nubs are a little bit ugly on that side there. So I want to touch these up. Smooth them out a little bit. Unfortunately, smoothing them out means getting rid of some paint, but that's okay. We can touch that up. There we go. I'm actually going to put a little dab of glue on our little peg here. Okay. Get this lined up again. There we go. Okay. So each one of these needs a little bit of glue there and there. And where they connect, where they touch. There we go. There we go. Now, it's not actually touching at the back here, but it's supposed to. So there we go. So I'm just going to kind of hold that against there a little bit. Very lightly. Hold that down. Just a little pressure. It's not much. You can tell I'm just barely touching it. Right? Just barely touching. You get that to touch against the side there. There we go. There's our railing. Now obviously it's a slightly different shade of orange on there, but that's okay. We're going to have it all uniform. But actually, you know what? Having it a little bit slightly different shade, it makes it pop out a little bit, you know? It's not all just one solid color. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at our other side. Because other than the cable, which the cable's going to be a different color, and I am not ready for that yet. So flip it over, and they want us to start working on the gun, but I want to put this on first. So we're going to do that. So I'm just going to make sure my nubs are clean and smooth, because that just bugs me when they're not. There we go. This side, yeah. Although the nub's painted, you can really feel it. It's got to be smooth. There we go. Same with this side. ready. Do a test fit. Pretty sure it's going to fit, no problem, just like the other side. Everything's I'm assuming everything's going to line up just like the other side. This is, yeah, okay. Oh yeah, lines up perfect, just like the other side. Just like the other side. Okay, so again, I just want to put a little dab on this little peg here. Now with all the kibble and bits everywhere on this, there we go. All lined up. Again, make sure these are in their little notches. And the top there. And these notches here. And again, this needs to be in, just touching that. Okay, I'll just hold it here for a sec. Let that glue do its magic. There we go, she's holding. All right, so that's that. So we're going to put this down and let this glue all dry. My turret is probably nice and solidified on there. There's the movement we get with our turret, or not our turret, our main gun. Always sticks up a little bit, but we get that range of motion on it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to let this all dry and we're going to start working on something else. We'll start assembling turret machine guns. Okay, so we're going to grab our B tree. Now, right now my guns are all white. And that's okay. So we need B11, this guy here. Okay. We need B1, which I went and painted orange, because I didn't know what B1 was. And I need B7 and 8. Where are you, 7 and 8? Over here. There we go. Okay. Let's clean these up. Now the reason why I didn't paint these orange is because I think for the most part the machine guns and their subsequent ammo cartridges are never actually the same color as the tank itself. Ammo cartridges, I think, are typically that olive drab color. They're generic. As far as this thing goes, I don't know what this is, because I've never had to install one of this particular thing on any machine gun I've assembled. So take this, and this guy, it goes here, like this. Which kind of limits the mounting thing. See, the actual gun mount, B3, I should get that out here. Which is orange. I did that because this is kind of part of the tank. This is supposed to go in right here. This. Which is going to make mounting this one a little bit difficult. Because of how far back it sits. I could do... Oh, maybe I have it backwards. Yeah, it's supposed to go like this. Okay, that simplifies it all, right? That makes life a little simpler. I had it backwards. Okay, so he goes like that. So I just want to make sure it's straight. It's not the best fit, is it? Okay, there's that. These get to go together. Which direction it goes, let's try and figure this out. This goes in this direction like that, and then this goes like this. Okay. I do like the kits, you know, sometimes I've had ones like Meng kits where you get the option to have this actually open and you can see all the bullets in there. That is a cool little detail that they give you an option for. Obviously, to me, is not doing that for us. Then this slides into this little rectangular slot. There's a little notch to stop it, so it only goes in so far. Just like that. So, a little bit of glue there. Line it up straight. There we go. And finally, of course, we have this. I'm thinking of just leaving this off for now so I can paint it. But I don't think it's really going to matter. I don't think it's going to stop me from being able to paint it too much. This is going to go, whoops, this is going to go like this. I think I can paint around that, no problem. Yeah. That's not going to be an issue. A little bit of glue on there. There we go. Okay. So there's our machine gun, one of them. Put him down. Just put him down like that. And actually I'm going to put him over here. We have our other, the 7.62 millimeter machine gun. Only looks like we got 3 pieces here, B18, 19, and 20. So let's look at these. 18, 19, and 20. Take a sip of coffee. Here's our main one, number 18. 19 is the ammo cartridge, and 20 is the grips. Nicely painted orange incorrectly. Why? Because I didn't know what it was when it was on the sprue. I was just painting everything orange, except some obvious parts that were really obvious that I knew exactly what they were. Okay, I don't like the parting line on the top here, so I'm going to clean this up a little bit. This looks a little funny, making it a little too obvious that it's 2 halves pressed together. Okay. So this guy, they want you to put it in just under here, like this, right there. It's not really a notch for it to fit in, but it does go right into this little slot, and there's a parting line I want to clean up there. I want to get that to a nice flat spot for it to sit in. Okay. Right into this little corner here. And that's his new home. Just going to make sure it's even and straight up and down. That's all you need to do. There we go. Okay. Just in case you're wondering, goes in like that. Okay. So that's that. And then we have our ammo case. So let's put him down. Big ugly nub mark here. In fact, this whole thing is a little ugly. Big parting line going all the way around it. I can understand why some guys 3D print their little ammo cases and stuff like that. Sometimes these kit parts just lack, they're just a little bit lacking in detail, you know. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at this thing and it's sitting on your shelf and you're looking at it from 2 feet away, all that detail doesn't really matter very much. So there's looks like there's 2 slots, but it's really just this one lower one it goes into. And of course it is on a funny angle. They've molded it that way so it doesn't go straight in. It's a little bit of an angle. So there you go. That's our other machine gun. That's the only other parts. Okay, and that's that guy. Okay, that's that machine gun. So with our machine guns done, we're now going to work on our bustle rack. You go, what's a bustle rack? That's this thing. This is that kind of a rack thing that sits on the back of the turret. We're going to put that together today. Now, we have the wire mesh that came in the kit. This stuff here, okay. Somehow I've got some things stuck to it. Wire mesh came in the kit. You're supposed to lay it down on here and cut it into this shape. And that's exactly what I did. And so I have this. All I did was lay it down. This now is nice, perfect shape. Matches there, just like that. Very nicely. Okay, so that's ready to go. So we got to grab my D again. I seem to be grabbing my D a lot today. Grabbing my D a lot. So we need D1, 2, 12, and 20. 1, 2, 12, 20. I want to separate 12 over there, and I'll get number 20 off of here. I'm going to turn this around. One. Yep, there we go. Okay. We have a lot of nub cleanup to do here. Maybe not so much on this one. This seems to have come off the sprue pretty clean. We need a little bit of help here. Okay, this is part number 1, which came off clean, and I can't even feel where the nubs were. Oh, there we go. Number 12. Had the like 8 attachment points on it. A little bit of overkill. But you know, if you're ever wondering why some parts have so many attachment points onto the sprues while others don't, you have to remember they're flowing plastic through every single one of those attachment points. Is a flowing point for the plastic to go through to make that mold. So every spot, which means there was plastic flowing through that spot there. There was plastic flowing through here and here and here. What does that tell you? It tells you that they needed to have that many spots to get it to flow and mold the part properly. Because maybe as the plastic flowed into here, it didn't make this part proper. So they had to add an attachment point so the plastic could flow through here and get to the edge. And that's probably why they did that. These tips seem to have a bit of a parting line. Now, I could be wrong, it could be molded like that on purpose, but it looks like a parting line, and I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. Sometimes I don't think. Sometimes I just do without thinking. Okay, my parts are cleaned up enough that I'm happy with it. So what do we have to do here? Well, we have to take this part like this and put our mesh down on it. And it looks like our mesh is going to go like this. Just like that. Okay, so it lays down on that part like that. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to take number 1, and what do we do here? It looks like we take this like this, and this like that. They show this almost like this. Which doesn't make sense. I think this is supposed to go like that. Well, this goes on here, which means it's just going to go on the edge. Like that. There are 2 pipes or railings going into those holes, and that's it, and it's just going to sit like that. And this goes into that spot there like this. So I think the easiest thing is going to be to glue that into place like that first. It's got two little tabs here and here, and I think that's our guide for how far down it goes onto this. Like this. And that's where it lines up. So I think the easiest thing is going to be to glue it to the base first. So that's what I'm going to do. Get her nice, straight up and down, attempt a 90-degree angle, and I'll do the same with the other side. Get him glued in. Okay, I think I got them good. This one's maybe a little adjustment. Okay. Now, put our mesh back in. I don't know if a regular glue will work on the mesh. I'm gonna have to notch the mesh a little bit. I'm gonna have to get my scissors and just cut this little corner out on both sides. Like that. Yeah, notch those corners because they're hitting these. Get that lined up. And like I said, I don't know if glue will hold the mesh down or not. I don't know if the mesh will work with regular hobby glue. Okay, so all of these guys are supposed to line up with all of our vertical rails. Like that. I want to grab this in a different way. There. I want to be able to hold it without playing around with the mesh. So it sits like that. So if I get it lined up on these, on our 5 points first, then I can worry about aligning our little pipes later. So let's get glue on their spots here. Okay, so that's going to hold it temporarily while I get my little pipes. Kind of notched in a little bit. There we go. There. Not bad at all. Okay, so with that, let's get these lined up and in their holes. As you can see, they're not actually in their holes. There you go. There you go. See, that feels good going in the hole. And I realize how that sounded. Trust me, I know what I said. Okay. So just for a little added security, that side's in. Now, in the holes, yeah, right away. And there's our bustle rack. Now, like I said, I don't know if this thing will actually work, so I'm going to take this and do this with it. It's a little too heavy-handed. I want to use a little bit slightly less pressure on it.